Opening statement on the line.
Yeah, that was that ended in dramatic fashion, didn't it? Again, these guys are going to drive me crazy. I thought there was a point in that game where, we're up maybe 14, and I was looking at the score, hoping that we can turn that thing to 20. And I thought they were going to go on their run. I told these guys to shoot around. I just didn't like our spirit. Very lackadaisical, and not showing enough humility. Like, we know it's conference play, and we're going to get the best of everyone. And unfortunately, but also fortunately, we were able to squeeze out a win on the road in conference play. I'll take it.
Questions for Jalen first?
Jalen, just what did you think of how you guys were able to handle their comeback and then just sort of kind of grinding yet another one out there in the final minute or two?
Like Coach said, during one of the media timeouts, he told us a run was coming, and I feel like we handled it well. We got down 3 or something, 3 I think. We made good plays on defensive end, and we executed on offense to withstand a storm.
You guys have obviously been in a few of these types of games.
Right.
Do you guys feel comfortable in this sort of rock fight, trip to the dentist, however you want to put it?
I'll say yes. We guard the ball very well. We play very good team defense, so we just know a stop is coming. So yeah, I think we are very comfortable.
Anything else for Jalen?
17-7. I think they played zone some. Can you talk about what you saw that led to a good game?
They ball screen coverages. It was very different. They try to mix it up, and I just tried to be in the play and also make plays for my teammates as well. I scored the ball very well, but I feel like I passed the ball very well as well. And just like for the aspect towards in the game, it was just very well for us offensively.
End of the game, you wave everybody off and you want to take Jones. You want to keep that assignment. Is that what you wanted to do? Defensively, you guarded him.
Yeah, just know at the end of the game situation, we don't want to give them no threes when we're up 2. So, I tell my teammates all the time, sometimes if I'm guarding the ball by myself, I'd rather challenge at the rim and let them make a tough play before we help them they make a 3.
Jalen, at the start of the second half, you appeared to have like sort of an interaction with Chris Caputo on the GW sideline. Can you just share what happened there from your perspective?
It was just competitive trash talk at the end of the day. I was looking for my friend, Darren Buchanan, call him June. So I was looking for June, asking where was June at, and at the end of the day, it was competitive trash talk.
Good job. Thank you. I'll take it.
Gotcha.
Tony, how do you kind of weigh the two things here, right? Like you guys played, defense pretty much throughout, maybe with an exception of about 5 minutes, but you're also in this like dicey situation, and 53 points almost wasn't enough.
Yeah, as a coach, I'm super greedy, especially because I know the potential. I know who we are defensively. It's been a main reason why we're 18-5 now. It's a main reason why we're one of the better teams defensively in the country. We're going to always have a pretty solid or above average defensive night. I got to take a little bit of credit, or I should say the opposite of credit. I thought our guys were lethargic today. I think after the second time out, they had like 6 points, and we just did a bunch of uncharacteristic things offensively where we could have really went into the locker room at halftime, probably up 10, 12 points, and that kind of sets the tone for your game. I can't wait to watch the tape. But again, it's a league win. I'm happy.
KD's play, particularly the defensive end. I mean, obviously the steal there at the end gets some attention, but 4 steals overall. It seemed like he's kind of coming along with what you guys have wanted.
Yeah, I mean, KD Johnson's a 5-year guy. KD Johnson, he scored more points than anybody on his team, and he did it in the SEC. That's the reason why I recruited KD Johnson, just because I thought his experience, his tenacity, kind of matched with Jared Billups, Woody Newton, a group that was really good defensively last year. But we recruited to our Patriot pressure, and KD Johnson is a major piece of it. Sometimes you look at the box score and, he only had 1 point in 23 minutes. But I think it's safe to say KD Johnson was a major, major part of our defensive possessions down the stretch.
At one point, right before the under 16 timeout, you and Chris Caputo had an exchange? You seem like you're commiserating over the officiating or something there. Can you talk about what happened there?
I spoke to Puto like 2-3 times in that game. I don't even remember. I honestly don't remember that moment, what I said to Caputo.
You were kind of alluding to this earlier, like just being happy to have a league win. Mason's had a lot of trouble in this building over the years. I mean, it's obviously not an apology situation at all for the way you play. But do you just kind of feel fortunate just to get the heck out of here, basically?
Yeah, I'm super ecstatic. I live 35 minutes up the road. And, even though this was a road game, it's a little bit of an easier drive back home. But it's that time of the year. There's a lot of teams that get put in this situation down the stretch and they don't come out with this win. And so you've just got to be able to take it. And, I'm looking forward to homecoming on Saturday versus Rhode Island.
Along those lines, Tony, what does it say for you guys to have been able to grit out a win when things could have easily gone by the wayside after you guys?
Yeah, I think that's the variable of having a bunch of seniors. Katie Johnson, Woody Newton, Darius Maddox, Jared Billups. Who am I forgetting? We've got 5 seniors, and when you have guys that are committed, guys that have stayed the course, have stayed together. You look at us right now. Obviously, we're in first place in our league, but from a statisticals category, there's not one person that's top 20 in scoring. No one jumps at you when you look at our league stats, and so that to me is a committed group. And when you have a committed group, and when you have an older group, these guys are just finding different ways to just win ball games. I'm happy. I'm proud of them. Again, we could have easily lost this game, but as you see, we had older guys in the game at the end of the game. And GW is a really talented young team. And I think that was really the deciding factor down the stretch.
And on a night where the threes weren't falling for you guys, how important was it to have Jalen being able to produce the way he did, especially late?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Haynes is so skilled. He's too skilled. I consider him a mismatch nightmare in our league. I'm glad he's on our side. He's got to have a little bit more poise because he is going to see some double teams. He's going to see a lot of double teams. He's got to make his free throws. But having a guy like that you can throw the ball inside to, having a guy like that you can run some offense on the perimeter with, it's just a tough guard. He's physical. He can make plays. Sometimes he's your best passer. He's your best rebounder. He's your best scorer. He's elite. I've got to get him to be a little bit more elite with his mental and just staying locked in because, as we get down the stretch here, we're going to get the best of everyone. And he's just got to be prepared for it.
Zach Anderson led in minutes. I'm wondering, was there a reason for that? Was it something mismatch-wise versus GW? And, it seems like we're trying to get him some more open looks. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and I just thought his energy was there to start the game with. He had a couple of rebounds. He had 6 rebounds. That's probably Zach Anderson's season high right there, to be honest with you. He had a couple 50-50 balls. He made 2 threes for us early. I like the matchup with him guarding Castro because we were able to just kind of mix it up. When watching film against watching other teams against GW, the one thing that I thought I didn't want to see tonight was the lob. I didn't want to see the lob out of the ball screen. And so we kind of took that away with Zach Garden, Castro. We were able to junk it up and switch it up a little bit. Zach's playing well. And again, it's any given night, it could be Zach. Any given night, it could be Woody. These guys are committed to each other. And, he's been playing some really good basketball as of late. And so, again, if we're able to get 2 or 3 guys playing really well, we're a tough group to beat.
And then talk a little bit about Begg. It's getting solid minutes off the bench, scoring buckets when he gets the chance. Just want to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah, this was a Justin Begg game. To be honest with you, I should have probably played him more just because the one reason I think GW's a lot better this year, they press you. They try to junk it up defensively. And anytime they do that, my offense was pretty trash tonight. And so what you have to do is just put your natural playmaker in the game. And I think Justin Begg is probably our most natural playmaker. Just put him out there and let him just be a basketball player. And I thought he did that in spurts. You're seeing his minutes go up. I don't know how I'm finding minutes for all these guys, to be honest with you. But he's a freshman that's growing, he's growing up every day. He's getting better.
Tony, just wanted to ask you about Jared Billups. He kind of filled that glue role now more so, especially throughout the year. What does that kind of mean to you going to deep into conference?
Yeah, you're not 18-5 without Jared Billups. Jared Billups is our captain. He's our defensive anchor. If I had to give an award for how good we are defensively, I think it's safe to say Jared Billups would win it. You talk about another unselfish guy. This was a guy that started all the games for me last year. He started our first, 5-6 games this year. He ended up having a concussion and sitting out. He has not been in the starting lineup since, but it has not changed who Jared Billups is. That type of mindset, that type of sacrifice is a major piece of our success. And so, to be honest with you, I'd love to clone Jared Billups because he's leaving me in 2 months.
Also, real quick, do you see him more playing that 4 spot every now and then? Because I know sometimes you like to slide him in there just in case defensively.
Yeah, game to game. I can't give it all away, man. Game to game, he's versatile enough to play, 2, 3, 4 positions, just depending on different matchups and schemes and stuff like that.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, appreciate it.